I stayed 1 month without my phone, and it was by force. I was not silent, I was silenced. And I almost lost it, but luckily I came out on the other side, and now I strongly believe that experience has changed my life. Let me explain. Hi, my name is Angie, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And before we go on, please consider liking and subscribing to this channel for more goodness, fun vibes, great hits. Anyway, back to the story, guys. So, how I stayed 1 month without my phone is that I was taken for idiot in these Nairobi streets. Now, anybody who lives in Nairobi or even Kenya in general knows you can lose your phone at any time, any place, any square of the city. It doesn't matter. You just need to be less smart than the smarter thief. Does that make sense? So what had happened was I was on my way to school. It was a Sunday. So first red flag, I went outside on a Sunday. Second red flag is that I was outside and there were less people outside because everyone is at home chilling on a Sunday. But lo and behold, there I was waiting for a vehicle to take me to school. And then all of a sudden, I see this very suspicious guy close to where I was waiting for a vehicle. And I take a mental note. I'm like, this cannot be any good. But did I listen to my instinct? No. Red flag number 3. Red flag number 4 is that I took out my phone in public, which, as every Nairobian knows, is a no-no. Especially if you have a what? If you have an iPhone. Because you're a targeted person. And everybody knows this, including myself. But did I listen to my instinct? No. Red flag number 5 is that I was supposed to go using a mat, but then I saw that time was running out. We were going to sign our project work in school. It was a very, very busy, hectic time. So the only time I could do this was on a Sunday. Basically, I don't like keeping people late. So I was already getting impatient. So in the harakati of checking time and seeing if I'm actually late or not, somebody noticed that my phone was stealable because it has 3 cameras. You know, guys, you know I'm an aspiring YouTuber, so I had to get a nice phone. So I used to use the iPhone 13 Pro Max. And then mimi ndo huyo, and I'm removing it in public. Whatever happened. I entered a vehicle. By the time I was leaving that vehicle, I was minus my phone. And I was running across the streets as a mad woman. I literally almost got hit by a car, guys, because those guys stole from me. And then they didn't push me, but they like opened the door for me to leave. They were like, Aya, go, we don't need you anymore. And I was like, are you guys serious? So I was there running around like a mad woman across the highway because I was in such disbelief that my phone was gone. And that's how my phone went. So keep in mind, I've told you guys, this is a very hectic time in school because we've just submitted our project work and then we were having oral exams coming up. And these oral exams are very, very important because they play a significant role in the final grade. So that's how my phone went. I don't want to pressure my parents to start buying me a phone immediately, nor did I feel the need to buy a new phone immediately because, as I said, I had exams to worry about. So what did I do? I resolved to using my exam phone and my laptop in the meantime, just to kind of get a feel of how life would be. Keep in mind, before my phone was stolen, I had developed a very strange addiction to it in the sense of like it had become my comfort thing. Because there was so much pressure around these exams that were coming, I used to ring. And then when I felt I was saturated, I used to use my phone as my escape versus like maybe going for a walk or literally anything else. So I had started like watching more Instagram reels, you know the vibes. So I had really become very, very heavily dependent. And I remember even looking at my screen time before the phone was stolen and had gone up to how many hours per day. And I'm like, why am I getting all these hours to be on my phone if I'm supposed to be studying, if I'm supposed to be like present with my family, my friends? Like it just didn't make sense to me. So at some point I even remember reasoning and I was like, maybe it's not the best thing that my phone has been stolen, but maybe it's what I kind of needed and didn't know I needed. So this is me just trying to rationalize everything. So that was working for a while. I used to call people here, like catch up. The sound quality was horrible. No one could hear what I was saying. My phone was stolen on like a Sunday. This is Tuesday. I'm starting to tweak. I'm like this, there should be something on my hand right now. Why is there nothing on my hand? Like, I should be doing this. Why am I not? I should be laughing at Instagram Reels. Why am I here in my silence? What does this mean? Like, guys, I started tweaking and I couldn't understand why. Now, maybe I am a special case and maybe I'm in the extreme side of it, but that was really alarming to me. The fact that I was displaying all these behaviors of someone who is addicted to something where in my mind I was thinking that I was above all that, and I thought I had everything under control despite my very long 6-hour, screen time. Like, I never thought myself to be someone who is addicted to their phone because, first of all, I'm not on TikTok. I say that as like it's a badge of honor, but anyway, yeah. Like, I didn't think it was as bad as it is. And that's when I started realizing how crazy the phone usage thing has become, to a point where it's so subtly engraved into your everyday everything. Like, you cannot do anything without your phone anymore. And that's so crazy because I was realizing all of that now. So having realized that, I just pushed myself more, that even after the exams, I opted not to have my phone. So I took this time to just search within, try and see, why am I squirming for a phone that's not there anymore? My sister had like 2 spare phones, but I remember even when she gave me one of her spare smartphones, which is an older model of an iPhone, zile za kitambo za the 2010s, I remember just feeling like, I don't even want to use it that much. Like, I want to try and see what this is all about. And that's when I decided, no smartphone, no nothing, it was 3.75 weeks. So I'm just going to say a month. And that was the beginning of the changing of my life. So why do I say staying without my smartphone for a month changed my life? I remember 2 years ago, I made a video on the dumb phone revolution. And I remember telling you guys that maybe what we need is to create a dumb phone experience on our smartphones, because the way this smartphone trend is going, we are losing ourselves more than we think we are. So that said, I was basing that video, I was trying to go back to what I had said to that video and actually apply it to myself. But instead of actually using a smartphone and making it a dumb phone experience, I just said, tumia ye paka uchoke. And then let's see how it will go. And that was so incredible because I used to wake up, the way when you wake up and your alarm is on your smartphone, you turn off the alarm, yes, you are awake, but the first thing you do is go on Instagram, go to WhatsApp statuses, go to your emails, do everything else but be with yourself. And that's the first thing in the morning. So already you're getting a lot of information overload. You're already stressed. You're already like disgusted by something someone said on Twitter, and it's only 7:02 a.m. You're already starting your day on a level that is not supposed to be started on. So that was the first thing I noticed, is that my mornings were so much less polarized. I used to just wake up, I look at my kabambe, it's 8:02 a.m. Let me wake up. I make my tea, I sit down. If I have to watch TV, I watch it. If not, I look at my laptop. And I really tried also to avoid YouTube, but YouTube nayo mulinipat. I used to use YouTube on my laptop. But you see, the thing is, with using your laptop, it's very impractical. It's a huge thing. It looks like this. Like, you will not find yourself going with your laptop to the toilet, you're pooping and you're looking at YouTube videos. You will not find yourself walking around with your laptop when going for a walk. So in that sense, much as I still had access to the internet and all of these distractions were still there, it was less convenient for me to use it. So even with that, at some point it just dwindled and I was just by myself. So what did I do when I finally got to that place where I was okay being without all of these techie distractions? It was so amazing, because what happened is that the silence that was around me, I remember that time also, I was at my sister's place. My sister is a student, so she lives in a very basic studio, which is good enough for a student, perfect, but there's not, like unlimited internet and there's no television. So it was really just me and the couch for those few days, because I was at my sister's still. And I was just chilling. I was just mad chilling. I used to wake up, make breakfast, and then just sit and stare at the wall. And the first few hours and first few days that I did that were the most weird and awkward and like, what am I doing with my life type thing. But do you know what happened? What happened was that I started being more in tune with my thoughts. And this is a very profound thing to say in a world where you have absolutely no time to be alone with your thoughts. Unless you make conscious effort to sit, meditate, journal, do whatever it is you need to do to tap into that, it's very hard these days to do that. And here I was doing it so effortlessly just because I had removed the noise and I was sitting in my silence. So what happened after that is I started really contemplating and analyzing what it was that was in my mind. A thought comes into my mind. I'm like, why am I thinking like that? I trace it back to where it came from, and I'm like, oh, I'm thinking like that because I saw this and that. I started thinking of all these things I've been meaning to do, all of these things I have procrastinated, and all of these things that I have, like kept in the back corner for a long time. And I started analyzing, like, why haven't I been doing all these things? It all came back to phone usage, one or another, improper time management, seeing other people doing it better and bigger than you. So you start comparing yourself, so you feel like you don't even need to start anymore. Every single thought that came into my mind that was an obstacle to something that I had wanted to do, it all circled back to me having my phone. And that was when I said, truly, 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 this is a bigger problem than we care to admit. So with this journey of reflection and everything, I decided to take a step back, because the magnitude of how crazy my phone had occupied my life was unfathomable. And that is when I decided that even when eventually I got another phone, because as you can see now, you're seeing me. So that means I've gotten a new phone and I am filming and I'm back. Those few weeks that I had to just be with myself and my thoughts were what I had needed for such a long time. And it might also be what you need if you feel like you've taken such a long stride from who you know you are or from what you need to be doing. So what's the point of me making this video? The point of me making this video is to remind you, because these are things you already know, is to remind you that there's so much noise around you, and it's not good noise. It's political instability, it's corruption, it's wars, it's body shaming, it's Ozempic. I don't know who has done what. ASG, what. Apply for this now before we close the deadline. I don't know what. There's so much, and it's finding you, and it's bombarding you, and it's occupying your mind, and it's shaping your world, and it's adding on to stress that you don't even need to be taking up as your own. And it's making you this very bitter and anxious and very agitated person at only 7:02 a.m. in the morning. And that's the point I'm trying to drive. Is sometimes you just need to silence all of that, before you lose yourself, before you identity shift into everything you see. You need to silence yourself. You need to deliberately take time to silence your surrounding noises that all come from that one device that you have on your hand very early in the morning, very late into the night, in the middle of the day, when you should be soaking up the sun. My point is this. Fine, the phones have won. We cannot do without them. I personally know I cannot do without them. Fine, don't even use a damn phone. Fine, it's all fine. Do you. Continue doing what you're doing. But for God's sake, silence those voices, because they really enter your mind huko nyuma. And by the time you realize why you're thinking the way you're thinking, or why you're doing things the way you're doing, or why all of a sudden you can't stand this or that, it's because somewhere at some point you saw an Instagram reel telling you that only people with symmetrical faces are considered attractive. It's because you saw somewhere that the employment rate in this industry is not even going up, so you decided to stop putting effort. It's because you saw that these days the YouTube algorithm only favors videos that are like this, so you say that I won't even make effort to start trying. There's all these people who are trying to make you who they want you to be, all these people offering you the next best thing, all these things shaped to give you the better version of everything. You need to silence all of that. You need to silence all of that. You need to silence it. You need to go back within, okay? And it doesn't have to be an everyday thing, but for the love of God, please find some time. In the middle of the week, at the end of the week, I don't care. And that was the biggest lesson. And this lesson has really changed me. And I'm really grateful that I took the time. And this was not even something I was seeking out. It just was a circumstantial, forceful thing, like I've explained. I just found myself, okay, this is all I have to do, let me just do it. But the profoundness of it was incredible. And I challenge you today to try and do the same. Just find some time. Just put your phone down. Don't even try don't try anything, just be. Just be. and see where your mind takes you. And I know it's crazy for someone to hear that because you're like, how do I just be? Exactly. That means there's a lot you need to unpack. The fact that you're asking, how do I take it easy, is already a problem. So just sit there, allow yourself to not be easy, and then you'll flow into that. Can you imagine? All of that came from me losing my phone and being forced to just be there. I know you already know this. And the gag is, you know this, and you're going to watch this video, and it's probably gonna resonate with you. And then you'll say, oh yeah, that's actually something I would do. But you know what? At the end of the day, you will continue watching other things, you'll continue using your phone, you'll continue letting those voices inside you. And that's how you know that they've won. That is how you know they've won. So I don't know what you're going to do with that information, but do with it what you might want to do with it. And that's how I'm going to end it. I will see you on the next one. Please consider subscribing and liking this video. Until next time, bye. Mwah.